Hello, Meow.
Meow.
And welcome back to the channel, Meow.
I'm Chef.
And I'm Electro, Meow.
And we are.
Chef Up, Meow.
Wow.
Yeah. We're back today with another magical girl.
Yeah. Magical YouTuber, you know, the thing that we do.
This is like episode 5 now. If you don't know what we're talking about, then get on it. There's a playlist. Go watch it.
Go watch the playlist.
Binge it. Netflix it, you know. Well, today we are drawing
NerdECrafter.
Yes. And if you don't know who NerdECrafter is, there'll be a link in the description so you can go binge watch her videos after you binge watch all of ours, because that's a must.
Yeah, it's like the natural progression of things. Watch ours, watch theirs, come back to ours and watch them again.
Give us some more views, and then go email all your friends or message them and go, oh, go watch this channel and subscribe to them. So this one, we got into NerdECrafter through squash clay.
Yes, I was obsessed with squash clay. I was, just Googling.
Squash clay is like a satisfying video.
Yeah.
You know those compilations where it's all satisfying stuff? It's like, no, squash clay is like super satisfying to watch.
Yeah, when I watch him like play with clay, he like mixes it sometimes like slowly so you see the color changing, and I love colors. And then sometimes he just sticks them together and then puts his hands over it like magic, and then bam, it's mixed.
Yeah, like even the shapes, he like does the shapes, you're like, what is he doing?
How does he get the color each time though?
I know, it's like perfect color, and then the shapes are so perfect. He like just pokes it, and then all of a sudden it's like a Pikachu. And you're like, how does that even happen? Like if I tried sculpting that, I'd be there for like 6 hours just working on the ear, and he's just like 2 seconds, and you're like, what is this?
I imagine sometimes like he's just like me with color, and he's got piles and piles of clay to the side where he's completely stuffed up the color.
It's like a bin full of clay. Just not failed. But yeah, anyway, so NerdECrafter, we got onto that because she does the sculpting too. So YouTube was like, recommend.
Yeah, it was in the side, and we'll just like click.
And then she was like, saltiness and intensifies. And we're like, that's us when we do stuff. We're like, and scream at inanimate objects because they annoy us. So that was fun. And then like she bought like all those school things, like how you get like the craft things from school, like you get those old magazines. Do you remember those at all?
No.
No, at our school, like once per year, would get like all these magazines with books and toys and stuff, and your parents could like give you money, and then they'll order it, and then it would rock up. She gets like all those things. I'm like, I wish my parents gave me the money so I could make these things. So I'm living vicariously through her right now while she's making these craft things, when I'm like a child version of myself going, oh my god, this would have been so much fun.
I didn't even get laminate on my book, so that's probably the problem.
Yeah, I did. I bought my own. I got like checkered stuff, like, yeah, I'm so cool and stuff. And now when I look back, I'm like, you're such a total nerd. You even ruled all your books before you even used it. Who does that? Also, we like binge watched her for like the longest time, and we completely forgot about her.
Yeah, because we started our YouTube account just after finding her, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we joined Amino, and then we're just like, who watches YouTube now? We've got so much.
Yeah, like we barely watch YouTube now. We used to watch YouTube all the time because we figured out people actually do stuff on YouTube. Before it was like just for looking up how to do something.
Like how to fix a broken chair. Throw it out and go buy a new one.
That's totally us. And yeah, so we forgot all about her channel until she did a collaboration with Delightful,
one of our favorite YouTubers. When we first got on YouTube, she was one of the first people we subscribed to when she had like 3 videos on her channel, and we're just like, #1 fans.
Yeah, and because of her, we have like a collection of Monster High dolls, because we're like, yeah, we'll be doll customizers too. It looks like so much fun, but we suck at it.
Yeah, we were so bad at it. We spent so long on just making a wig, and I made myself as, how she's got her own little character.
Dulsona or something.
Yeah, I started making one, and I did like the face up and everything, and then like I tried the wig.
Yeah, like I even ventilated your wig, and I was like, oh my god, this is so painful.
I swear it took you like 4 days to ventilate this wig.
It did!
Yeah.
Like I'd never done it before. We're like, oh yeah, that should be fine. We looked up the tutorial, I'm like, I can do that. And then we got the tool and I sat there for like 4 days. I'm like, and then it didn't work. And I was like, Gah!
It just wouldn't stick to the actual head. It was like we tried 50 different glues and we're just like, okay, they don't sell the same glue here than they do in America, and obviously...
Like most of the stuff they use, we have to order off the internet, and because we're in Australia, it costs us like 3 times the amount and what like they say they pay for. Like, oh yeah, I got this glue for like $5 down at like the corner store.
And the government just put on another tax for getting stuff
Like
out of the
imports
country.
and stuff. Yeah, so it's like, oh, for us it's $50 for like a tiny little thing of glue. We're like, yeah, okay, I guess we're not going to be doing that.
Yeah, so we pretty much stopped after we made mermaids. Well, started making mermaids.
Yeah, the mermaids, we ordered epoxy sculpt offline.
Yeah.
And then their tails ended up like 10 times longer than their body, and they're like so heavy.
Yeah, we put like wire, foil, and then put epoxy over the top of it, and then sanded it for another 4 days straight, and then like kind of just left it for a while, and then we found a video of Delightfuls after that saying you can wet your brush while the epoxy is actually wet, and it'll smooth it out better. And we're like, oh.
We just spent 4 days outside sanding this stuff. We bought a face mask and everything, so you know we wouldn't inhale the dust or anything like that. Like, if only we knew this.
Yeah. And then we're just like, you know, it was just getting harder and harder, so we just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Concentrated more on actual drawing.
Yeah, because that's the thing actually good out. Yeah.
Because the original idea was you do fantastic art, but your art is literally my imagination. So I was like, I want to take the actual thing to a new level. I want to make your characters in a different medium.
Yeah.
So they're actually in a real world.
It would seem like a really cool idea, but then we realized how hard it was and how expensive it really is, and we were just like, we can't afford it. Like, because we're beginners, it was like a kind of an unrealistic goal for us at the time.
Yeah,
especially.
and you even need like these actual pastels to get the faces good.
Like, we got pastels and they didn't work. We got glues, they weren't working and stuff like that because we couldn't but get the exact same stuff they used, and it just wouldn't work. Maybe it's the temperature here because it's so hot all the time.
And yeah, well, that's pretty much it about that.
Yeah. So back to the drawing, I had so much like designing this outfit and stuff was so hard.
It was, and you got my advice a lot with it, and you pretty much were like, what do I do? So I was like, she wears these cool hats, why don't you put the hats into the design? My favorite hat was the Magikarp hat because it's like extra.
Yeah.
And I was like, turn it into a mermaid dress.
Yes, and so that's what I did. And then we kept her new hat the Bulbasaur one because that's her new trend. So like, let's turn it into like a real Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I was like, well, why don't you make it more realistic, like it actually looks like a real Bulbasaur. Put the Vine Whip coming out because Vine Whip was awesome. And then Razor Leaf, and then you could even do Stunspore as the background or Razor Leaf as the background.
Yeah, and as well as the main thing we started off with was with like the hammer. Because in one of the previous episodes, we were talking about like weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was like, we need a hammer. We need someone leaning up against it like they're a badass. And then we thought of a salt shaker, and we're like, we have to do Salty Crafter.
Yes! And as soon as we like got that idea, we're like, okay, yep, this is gonna happen. We're so excited for it. Like, I was even trying to think of like these silly puns to go with it, like salt puns, you know what I mean? Like,
I am the salt cracker.
Or like, are you feeling salty, punk? Well, are you?
Yeah.
That's terrible. Didn't think of anything good. Like, you know, if you guys can think of anything, I'd love to hear them in the comments below.
So, after all that, we went to doing the coloring, or I did, and you sat there and you're like, ooh. And then I pretty much did everything, like half Magikarp and half Bulbasaur. And you said, do the leaf design on the gauntlets, on the shoes, everything like that, green. And I was like, okay. And then put the rest of the outfit, you know, Magikarp.
Yeah, and then when you showed me when you're done, I'm like, oh, what did I make you do?
Yeah, and the vines on the middle of the shirt, they were like bright green and then it was contrasting on the orange. I was like, it's really gross.
Yeah, green and orange don't go well together.
So after that point, the bottom of the dress was kind of jacked as well, and there was all these different things happening. So I was like, can you actually change it to be the back of Magikarp's tail? And as soon as you did that, it incorporated more white into the actual outfit, so it looked more like Magikarp. So I decided to change the shoes, change the gauntlets to the same theme as Magikarp. Just keep Bulbasaur on the head, maybe put him in the background somehow, and then just keep the full dress Magikarp. And it worked out fantastically.
Yeah, so in the end, Bulbasaur kind of turned out to be like Hero. Is that his name from Card Captors? He's like
Hero Bellows.
Yeah, so Bulbasaur's kind of like her little sidekick thing when she's in her magical form.
Yeah, and also you put magical leaves in the background as well. Yeah. So it's kind of like when she transforms into her magical girl form, her hat transforms into a real Bulbasaur and he has different powers or amped up powers.
Yeah, which seemed like a really cool idea. So, you know, we were going to do though like the sidekick animal type things like later on. We were thinking about maybe coming back to this series and giving them their little sidekick dudes.
Yeah, but there's so many YouTubers that it kind of seems like if we go through every single YouTuber, by the time we get back, we're probably going to be like 50.
So yeah, after all the colouring was done, we saved it onto the phones, and when we went to bed, I was still looking at it. I'm like, I still feel like there needs to be something more to this picture, because compared to the other ones, it just felt like it wasn't enough.
Yeah, so I was just like, why don't you do a hexagonal shape over the top of it, so then it kind of gives it a little bit more texture.
Yeah, and like a scale effect to it, like on the orange part is where you wanted it.
Yeah, so I was like, make it red to contrast with the orange and intensify it.
Yeah, and then I was like, that sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah, you were shocked. I was like, oh, really?
Yes, you're so awesome.
And then it was like the white part. We still need to put some texture on that. But I was like, if we do the exact same shape on the actual orange part and the white part, it's kind of going to look a little bit meh.
Yeah, it won't make it as effective. So then I was like, let's do the Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, and I was worried about the gold then, because if you put the gold with those two symbols, then the gold's not going to really pop, because you put gold on something to make it pop.
Yeah, I did like weird patterns on that one as well. So it's like pattern. But I kind of tried to do it in a way where it wasn't too overwhelming.
Yeah, I remember you tried doing it on the whiskers, and it was so over the top. I was like, my eyes are bleeding.
Yeah, so the whiskers are kind of dialed back a little bit at the end, and I think it looks really nice now. It's got a cool effect to it. It has like a glowing thing, so it's like, oh, magical. And then the other patterns turned out really well.
Yeah, well, I'm biased, of course. I think it's awesome.
Me too. And after all that, the salt shaker turned out amazing. I've never drawn one before, so I was like, how do I do this?
I mean, do you even think about drawing salt shakers in your natural life? You're like, I like drawing people, but maybe I should go into salt shakers.
It's like, I'm gonna draw a salt shaker. A salt shaker today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I love the idea of it and her leaning across it, and I even drew her face where she's like, saltiness intensifies.
I literally had to stand there and pose for you to take photos, and I did the salty face and the actual whole pose, and I'm like, I have this stick that we use for, posing, and I've got it in my hand. I'm like, yeah. And you're like, ooh, I like that pose. Ooh, I like that pose.
You're enjoying yourself way too much. But yeah, so I think it turned out so... I just love it. Even the face, like, because I always do like smiley, happy faces or like smolder faces.
Yeah. Doing
something like completely out of my comfort zone, I'm like, oh my god, this is going to look ridiculous. But it looks so accurate. It freaks me out when I look at it like, I know what this person's doing in the picture, and it feels so good to look at.
Yeah. I was imagining while I was watching you shade it, the actual theme song to the Sailor Moon thing again.
Doesn't help that I have it on like my music playlist and it pops up on the speakers while I'm drawing, and then it turns into a magical girl montage in the house instead of working. Also, we're at the end of the video, us talking now. So we've got links in the description for commissions and Twitter. We made a Twitter, not quite sure on how to use it.
We kind of made a Twitter because Lauren Z side said the only way that you could actually see send her stuff would be Twitter because she'd pay attention. So we made a Twitter and then we like posted it to her like 5 times. And then while she was on a Twitch stream, she was mentioning her husband a lot. And we're like, oh, does he have a Twitter? And then we linked him and then he liked it straight away. We're like, ah!
And then she liked it. I'm like, yes, life goals. And then I think James also liked his from the Odd Ones Out. And
You were like screaming in the house like,
oh my god, notice me said bye. But yeah, so that's it. Links in the description. We'll even link NerdECrafter's channel so you can go check her out. She's pretty chill. And that's it. Bye, meow.
Meow.